Now, the reason wasn't because he was a gentleman, and it wasn't because he was cocky and teasing. It was because he was both. It's not enough to have confidence in life. You have to have competence. Now, women will never. They don't hold a woman, right? So, but now you find like what seems to be a good man, but with an edge. That's a unique pairing.
You've probably heard the old saying about nice guys finishing last in dating, right? Well, what if I told you there's a secret combo and it's a bit of confidence mixed with genuine charm that really draws people in? Today, we're right on the brink of cracking open that mystery. It's not about swinging between being overly confident or just plain nice. We're talking about finding that irresistible balance. Curious about the secret formula? You're in the perfect spot because we're diving deep into what it takes to truly captivate someone. And who better to navigate this adventure with us than Matthew Hussey himself? Yeah, the dating whisperer who's reshaped the love lives of folks all around the globe. Matthew's cracking open the playbook on attraction, showing us that magic mix of qualities that just draws people to you. Picture this, someone who nails it. They've got that kind heart that just feels like home, and yet there's this edge of boldness that keeps you on your toes. Sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? How on earth do you blend those traits together? Well, that's the riddle we're solving today. This video could really flip the way you think about charm and attraction. With a sprinkle of insight from Matthew Hussey, we're not just discussing love, we're totally redefining it. Because this exploration could be the game changer you've been waiting for.
I think there's something of a sense of entitlement that most of us have, or that most people have when they're going out to date, where they somehow feel like they're just owed the love of their life, that it shouldn't be difficult, that they don't have to do anything, that it's enough, that they are just them. You know, it's that there's, I don't know if you've ever seen Bridget Jones, but there's a line in Bridget Jones where forget his name, Colin Firth, I think it is. He's looking at Bridget and he says, "I love exactly how you are. I love you. Like no changes, nothing. I love you exactly how you are." And sometimes we feel like we're owed that. And it kind of becomes an excuse again
to be lazy,
to grow, not to, I don't, frankly, it doesn't really matter what you think you're owed in love. No one cares. It's not enough to have confidence in life. You have to have competence. You have to actually know what you're doing. And that's what a lot of people don't know in their love lives. If you, for example, there's something I came to understand. I remember once having a breakup. It was the most painful breakup I've ever had. I was really, really in a bad way over it. And a while later, I spoke to this woman on the phone, and I had said to her in a brave moment on the phone, I said, "Why did you want to break up?" Because, by the way, the one that had
later on the phone,
like a year or two later, it was less raw. I was pretty cut up about it. Now, the funny thing was, to make a long story short, she had actually done something I didn't like and that I thought was inappropriate and disrespectful. And I remember going to her the next day and saying, "I think we need to break up." And she then said to me, "Okay." That was when I knew she was breaking up with me. It wasn't, you know, when you think you're breaking up with them.
No, she was already doing it.
She was breaking up with me. And what was so painful about it is that she didn't mind. I thought she might get upset. I thought, no, she didn't mind. And that was the most painful part about it. And
she didn't even fake it. Believe this, but they're really,
I know. And I had said to her on the phone, "Why did we break up?" I said, what was it for you that I wasn't doing? And I braced myself for the answer. She said, "Do you really want to know?"
Honest feedback.
And I said, I literally thought to myself, wait, do I really want to know? And I said, I gritted my teeth and I went, "Yeah, I want to know." She said, "You were boring." And
wow,
it was so much worse than I thought it would be. Do you know what I mean? What? So I said, "Why was I boring?" She said, "When I first met you, you were the most ambitious person I'd ever met." And she said, "I never met someone with such an ability to decide they want something and then get it. She said it was so sexy. She said, but as we went into our relationship, the more time went on, the more that was all you were. You were super ambitious. You knew how to get what you want, but you were so one-dimensional. You know, it was all you did. Even in our free time, you were on the phone, you were on your laptop, you would talk about your business. You were always talking shop. There was never anything else you had to talk about. We didn't do anything spontaneous. We never went and had adventures. It was just all one track. And she said it got boring. And I realized something in that moment. The thing that makes that one quality can make you really attractive, right? But it won't keep someone. Right. It can make you sexy. It can make you intriguing.
Mysterious.
Right. But it can even, for a time, make someone worship or idolize you. One quality. But one quality will not hold someone. Because the reality was, there was a flip side to ambition, which would have made it eminently more attractive. And there are a few, right? If you pair ambition, say, with an ability to enjoy life, now that person is
really sexy.
You combine ambition with a sense of spontaneity, for example.
Adventure.
Very, very sexy. Ambition on its own is, when you look at it from afar, very, very attractive. You go, women will say, I want an ambitious man, I like that. But when they get up close, if it's only one side to a coin, it quickly becomes unattractive. So here's the point about this, which I find very interesting about dating. To your point of what's the biggest mistake people make? Apart from, of course, the entitlement, it's over-reliance on a key strength that they have come to rely on as their source of validation, success, confidence.
Right.
Over-reliance on that. I had come to over-rely on essentially being ahead of the curve for my age. Yeah. If I wanted to really get a woman attracted tonight, not me, but like send a guy out to get a woman attracted, I could literally, if he went in and he was a little cocky and teasing, but in the right way, not an arrogant, obnoxious, but just he knew how to play with her. And then a couple of hours later, you know, maybe it's getting late, he comes out of the restroom, and after being teasing and playful and silly, he says, you know what, it's getting late. I called you a car. I don't want you walking outside. And he says, I have to go as well. I have to get up early. He takes her outside. He gives her a little kiss. He says, all jokes aside, I've had the best night with you tonight. I'll call you later this week. Puts her in the car. Car drives away. That woman will be going, oh, crap. I like this guy. Yeah. Now, the reason wasn't because he was a gentleman, and it wasn't because he was cocky and teasing. It was because he was both. You can go out and meet a gentleman. You can go out and meet lots of nice guys.
But that's all they are.
Right. Incredibly boring. Women will never...
nice.
They don't hold a woman. Yes. Right? So, but now you find like what seems to be a good man, but with an edge. That's a unique pairing. And that's someone that becomes not an attraction, but an addiction.
Ooh.
And there's a big difference. So I believe that we will actually, I believe these pairings already exist within us, but we've overtrained certain muscles. We've overtrained certain qualities that we've gotten used to as habit.